think the timing is really, really important, and especially for something around disease prevention, getting those what we like to call here this micro moments of concern with the opportunity and trying to match that as best as possible. And so as a the disease prevention program, we want to meet people who know they're at risk. And what we found is that the timing is really important when we can meet people when they've learned that risk. So whether that's through the results of biometric tests coming back, or through an HRA result, or if they're taking an online risk screener and learning about those results, being able to match the offer, hey, we understand you're at risk, with, and we understand, and here's something built just for you. If we can match that timing, it's much more effective, and we've seen much greater engagement rates than, let's say, a 1-1 start. I think fundamentally, if you want to implement a disease prevention solution for your at-risk employees, inherent, the at-risk employee needs to understand he or she is at risk, right? It's again at that micro moment of concern. You can only create that moment of concern when there's an awareness of that concern. And so whether that's a biometric strategy or an HRA strategy or an online risk screener, putting in place as many incentives or opportunities for people to participate as possible is really important to building that awareness and then meeting that awareness of that concern. That's the formula for true success around prevention. I'd say one of the challenges is when it's here, you can speak to all of our employees, and what we've learned is that we do really well when we meet people at that moment of concern. What we haven't done very well through this year is introduce ourselves and ask people to learn if they're at risk. It's the same reason why unincentivized biometric rates are in the 20% range, unincentivized HRAs are in the 15% range, right? There's a reason why these things are in place. And so I think just the overall strategy is don't just throw out a disease prevention program without the means to identify and motivate your team to learn they're at risk. The payoff is the solution that's proven and works at the back end. And when those pieces come together, we've done some amazing things.
You see this dichotomy of employers saying, we want the easy button. We want to be able to turn the program on. No, we don't want to email communicate with our employee base because there's so much noise coming at them. No, we don't want to push them to have to do anything they don't want to do. We appreciate that, but what, to your point, we've learned is we'll just put you on the website and hope someone finds you isn't adding value to anyone.
Yeah. That precision engagement is about truly meeting someone where they are and where their interests are with that moment of opportunity. And that's been another key lesson. So much of the benefit world runs on the open enrollment timeframe, which is now passed, and then preparing for this 1-1 start. And it's almost as if it doesn't happen then, you've got to wait a whole other cycle. When, again, on the prevention side, it's this micro concern actually doesn't generally happen on the 1-1, with the exception of New Year's resolutions, which unfortunately are fairly short and fleeting. Most individuals are not planning then, and so it's there's a great opportunity to space things out. And we found that most of our employer partners are actually really grateful for the fact that we're not a 1-1 launcher, that we run off cycle, because it gives them a chance to phase things out and oftentimes sort of get over that big January push and start planning things for maybe a March, a June, and September, where it's a little quieter and there's great opportunity to put some focus onto it.
Our biggest successes in 2017 were off-cycle implementations. And to your point, our savvier customers definitely aligned their launches with a true moment of concern, with the release of biometrics, some type of incentive scheme that they were running, that really, I think, gave them a jump start in grabbing the attention of potential Newtopia participants, but also just using their calendar a little bit more strategically versus trying to jam everything into the same launch funnel.
And ultimately, where I think all of this is starting to lead is toward that precision engagement, precision communications, effectively sharing benefits with each individual when they need them, which is going to make the most contextual sense, as opposed to the sort of block, it's January 1st, here's what's available globally, here are all the tiles available on our engagement, choose amongst the, the buffet, which is no, actually, let's create the meal support each and every individual through the year based on when it makes sense for them. That's
Right.
precision engagement, that's precision communications, and that's where the future of benefits
Right.
really has to move.
I do like that analogy, create the meal throughout the year. I'm not going to forget that one, Jeff. That's very good. We started chatting a little bit about having this internal wellness champion. So that's the individual, as you said, who's going to be waving our flag, pre-communicating that Newtopia is going to be launched, and just really making sure we have boots on the ground in the inner circle.
Yep.
And then the timing piece, which you've alluded to with the idea of let's get some of the key executives or some of the key internal stakeholders who have an area of influence. So it could be, gosh, it could be a trade union leader. It could be an advocate for certain groups within the organization, but folks who they have an audience who will listen to them, right? And giving them that first experience. And just for our consultants out there, we always hear about pilots, right? Can we do a pilot? And in previous webinars, we've discussed absolutely we can, but just because we can doesn't mean we should. Where we've had these advocates go through Newtopia, and we've gathered testimonials, and we've gathered kind of some real experiential momentum, it just makes the timing of that launch so much more impactful.
Newtopia is being presented through the voice of someone in the organization, whether it's a member of the benefits team or a member of the team at large, who is able to speak firsthand about their experience. And that's been really, really helpful and a best practice that we'll definitely move into next year with.
Stacking with other point solutions, we've seen tremendous success where we're able to say, all right, logically, who's in our program who would want to hear about these other programs, and who are in the other programs that should or could benefit from a Newtopia, and really working holistically with the consultants, the payer, the employer, and the other point solutions. And that's something that's boded well for us, and I know we'll continue to investigate and expand upon cross referrals and really stacking strategically with other vendors and other point solution partners.
Yeah. To borrow "it takes a village" phrase to get this right, we don't exist in a bubble. We know that there's a big, broad landscape of benefits being offered, but if we truly want to add value to each and every employee that's taking advantage of these, we need to know about each other. And so there's a degree of just understanding what's available to each employee. How can we, as part of that value offering, be able to move people in the right direction, knowing when we're appropriate, maybe when we're not appropriate, and then also making sure that others know about us. And so whether it's a concierge type of program in place as a case manager, or whether it's just an understanding of what else is in place from a wellness, disease prevention, condition management, so that we can move. But I just think that sharing on the back end, either through formal partnerships and integrations or even just informal, it's so important. And then you really have a value chain.
So talking of 2018, so we have a few minutes left. We're going to pull the curtain back, right? We've made internally a bold statement that we are redefining disease prevention. Right. What do we even mean?
I mean, I really think in a simple way, what we mean is really driving sustainable habit change. The goal here is to drive these very hyper-personalized experiences to drive sustainable habits so that it's lasting change, it's lasting impact, it's lasting risk reduction, it's lasting cost savings. That's the name of the game. That's where both the individuals and the organizations who are responsible for cost win. And ultimately, that's where we've proven to do our best work.
That's right. Earlier on, we were having a discussion about, what do we consistently hear are the three kind of core differentiators of what Newtopia brings to the table. And consistently we hear it's not just coaching, it's one-on-one, an actual coach per participant. It's not just a program, but it's programming that leverages genetics, right? So it's hyper-personalized that route. And it's not just a proven program, it's a proven published program backed by Aetna, where we've shown true clinical cost reduction, right? So three very powerful anchors. And I would expect that in 2018, you can hear a lot more about that.
Yeah, I'd say, look, there's a ton of really exciting stuff that we're doing. There's a ton of noise out there. I think, though, where the impact is going to be had for your customers, for our partners out there, is in pulling all those pieces together to truly drive sustainable habit change, lasting behavior results for each of those at-risk individuals, so that they may not, it's not, we don't want a diet.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want something that sort of starts and has a short impact, but then automatically reverts. Much of what is in the market is demonstrating that. It's about that sustainability. And I think that's what 2018 is going to be for us to really demonstrate.
Right on, Jeff. Thank you so much, everyone. We want to wish all of you a very, very happy Christmas for those of you who celebrate. Happy Hanukkah for those who celebrate Hanukkah. Happy holidays for those who just take it easy. And most of all, stay safe. Great family time. Reach out. We are happy to participate in any off-the-floor debates, discussions, demos, really anything. But thank you most of all for your support of Newtopia, and we look forward to seeing you again in 2018.
Thank you for being with us in 2017. Can't wait for another great year of these webinars. Lara, thank you for an amazing year. And most importantly, we can't wait to demonstrate what Newtopia can do in 2018. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.